You stretched out your right hand. The earth swallowed them. When the Lord stretches out his right hand, the very foundations of the world answer. Mountains tremble, seas part, and the proud schemes of the hostile fall into the secret places of the earth. In that outstretched hand there is power to defeat oppression and to turn back the tide of violence. Yet there is also a reminder that God alone governs the destiny of nations and the hearts of men. To behold this image is to be invited into awe, to recognize that the same sovereign power that turns judgment can also shelter the humble and uphold the faithful. This verse calls us to trust without presumption. It assures those who cry out in danger that rescue comes from beyond human strength. At the same time, it bids those who imagine themselves secure upon their own devices to remember that no fortress stands when the hand of God moves. There is a moral gravity here. Righteousness will be vindicated, and iniquity will not stand forever. The earth swallowing them speaks of the world's ability to receive consequences, to bury proud ambition that forgets God, and to restore balance in ways beyond human engineering. Yet the lesson is not only one of fear. It is also an invitation to gratitude. When we remember the mighty acts of God, our hearts are drawn into worship. We learn to sing the songs of deliverance, to tell the next generation of mercy and power, and to live in freedom that is rooted in dependence upon Him. The remembrance of God's hand leads us to compassion for the afflicted and to a steadfast refusal to rejoice in the ruin of others, even when justice is done. Mercy and justice meet in the fullness of divine action. Let this imagery teach us humility in our pursuits, courage in our weaknesses, and reverence in our speech. Let it shape our ethics so that power is never used for selfish domination but for the protection of the vulnerable. Let it steady our souls when storms rage, reminding us that the same hand that commands the earth also holds each trembling heart. And let it kindle a hopeful patience. God's timing is perfect, His judgments are righteous, and His salvations come in His appointed way. May we therefore live as people who remember both the greatness and the gentleness of God's right hand. May we be instruments of His justice and vessels of His mercy, walking in humility, proclaiming with boldness the story of deliverance, and trusting that even when the world seems to swallow what is unjust, God's purposes continue to unfold toward redemption, healing, and life. Hold fast to hope, dear friends. When despair whispers, fix your eyes on the outstretched hand that works wonders in hidden places. Serve faithfully, forgive readily, and remember that every burial of injustice in the earth is a prelude to spring, where new life rises by God's grace abundantly now.